Yo, it's your boy Logos, and I decided to take a week off from X/Twitter just to get a break from it all. It's really mostly a waste of time, and any chance of a good dialogue or discourse really isn't going to happen. I still try to use it for news, but over the past week, I even haven't been doing that. But the first thing I see today when I decide to check out X is Jim Crow trending. And of course, it's some BS. It seems that people are trying to take this man's quote out of context or try to put their own spin on it to make it seem like a coon sellout, etc., etc. But from my reading of it and my understanding and where everything is being screenshotted and shown, it is not what people are trying to make it seem. And I've heard this guy before, Byron Donalds, and I think I might have did a video talking about him before, at least reference him. So I'm tiny bit familiar. He's just not a new player to me or a new politician. So I gotta see what it's about. And I just want to go over the whole quote of what got everybody losing their mind. Because from my point of view, these are two different things that are being said right now. But let's just go into what he says. At another point, Donald said, he is starting to see the reinvigoration of the black family, which he describes as younger people forming nuclear family units and helping to breathe the revival of a black middle class in America. I don't see anything wrong with that. And for the most part, I do agree. I don't know the overall percentage of marriages among people aged 18 to 35 or so, but at least within my circle, I do see marriage. I do see, for the most part, long lasting relationships and people are happy. And most of these people I'm hanging out with are middle class. So, at least from my experience, which is very, very minute and small, I'm seeing that. He went on to say that those family values had previously been eroded by Democratic policies that black voters embraced after becoming loyal to the party due to the civil rights movement. Okay, so from my understanding, where he's talking about like welfare, um, Lyndon B. Johnson, and all the other type of stuff, which I heard many, many times before. He is far from the first person to say this. He would be far from the last person to say it. I heard about this stuff when I was in high school. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, in high school. Well, definitely was in middle school. That was too young. But yeah, definitely in high school about this type of stuff. Before I heard of Thomas Sowell and all these other guys, economists, politicians on either side. And for my understanding, and honestly, for my opinion, I do agree with that. I do agree with supporting your citizens, your society, but you can't do it to a point where you're incentivizing bad behavior or bad, I don't know, cycles or bad habits. Where you're not allowing fathers in the home and then people choose having government assistance over fathers in the home. You can see what he's talking about. And I think that's what he's mostly talking about. He's not talking about Jim Crow, even though he's just talking about the time period of Jim Crow, because that's when black marriages were higher. That's the truth. You may not like it. I don't like it. It'd be fantastic if black families were even more together now than it was during Jim Crow or slavery or any type of trials or tribulation or suffering or oppression. I've said it before in multiple videos. Me and Ram had these conversations before, so I don't see anything wrong with that. You see, during Jim Crow, and this, I guess, this is the part of everybody's so pissed off. You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together. During Jim Crow, more black people are not just conservative. Black people have always been conservative minded, but more black people voted conservatively. So people are trying to say that he thinks black people are better off during Jim Crow. I think that whole notion is absolutely ridiculous. Anybody with half of a mind that's not a dumbass would say, of course, black people aren't better off during Jim Crow. What he's saying is the black family and the percentage of people staying together in nuclear families were higher, which is a fact. It's the truth. And if you ask me and many other people, part of the reason we have crime and low reading rates, education, all these other problems is because of lack of a good foundation in the home. Somebody to keep young boys in check in terms of behavior in school, and also so that young daughters don't get influenced by bad, I don't know what you want to say, bad influences, whether it's the culture, black culture, American culture, or anything else outside of their own home. It's not easy trying to raise a family by yourself. So not doing that, having two grown adults in the home, sharing responsibilities and values is a good thing. It's something that we need more of. I don't see him trying to say Jim Crow is a good thing. He's saying that the black family is coming together outside of Jim Crow right now in the modern day. Even with all the woke stuff and all the other stuff like that, whether you, me, or him may feel about any wokeism or any of that other stuff, who gives a shit if black families are coming together? You can decide whether or not you want to engage in that stuff or not, or talk about it or not. What's more important is black families coming together, black children have their father and mother in the home, having a good education, learning good skills, having good examples. So they don't look up to celebrities or athletes or any other person they don't even freaking know who could have a double life. Or even if they don't have a double life, it doesn't matter. You don't know them. They don't have your lifestyle, your background. Because they look like you doesn't mean they are like you. But we had a whole Kendrick Lamar, Drake type thing with the whole not like us. But if you ask me, I still think people are still gonna just fall in line with the status quo depending on race and what the culture think is right. Yeah. Completely different topic. But either way, in my opinion, this isn't about Jim Crow being a good thing. This is about black families somehow, some way being stronger during a time of oppression and violence than they are right now or within the past 20, 30 years when there wasn't, the KKK around and suppressing of black voters or lynchings or mobs or any other stuff where people would lynch black people and then send gift cards or posted cards saying we had a good barbecue today. Yeah, I know all that shit. So I don't just be saying this stuff because I'm just a coon or this, that, and the other. I know the horrible, evil shit that pieces of shit did in the past. Trust me, I know. And I have the same type of emotions that you may assume I don't have. No difference between me and certain people. I don't see a point in being angry at people for modern day stuff. I'm sorry. I don't see a point in being angry at people in the modern day for stuff that happened in the past. That's how I see shit. That doesn't mean I'm not aware. I don't think it's evil or it was bad. I'm just not gonna harm somebody or hate somebody that has nothing to deal with it. If you ask me, that's just how I live. And then HEW, Lyndon Johnson, you go down that road, and now we are where we are, which is, I can only assume, referencing the Welfare Act. I'm sorry, Welfare Act, and all the stuff that happened in the past 30 years because of it. Also, drugs and all the other bullshit. That's what I think he's talking about. Not Jim Crow being a good thing, not slavery being a good thing, and not white supremacy being a good thing, or lynchings, or any other bullshit that politicians or people on Twitter are trying to make it. He's just saying the black family. You could talk about one item or one thing, one entity within a bigger, I don't know, context without saying the whole context is good. Like, come on, he's just isolating a specific part of society within the greater whole or greater time period of America. That's it. Not the whole part of America in that era of America was great and fun and peachy. Just talking about black families and how often they showed up and were around compared to now. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. It's funny too. Like, this is not a new thing. Like I said before, I heard this before from like Kevin Samuels and a few other people. I don't remember people getting so upset and butthurt, acting so stupid like they can't process two thoughts at the same time when he said it or anybody else. They at least ignore that. They focus on other stupid shit, but they can at least understand, black families were somehow, some way stronger during the time of true oppression compared to now, but we seem more separated and at each other's throats. You can't deny that.